Day number 3, Saturday at NAMM Anaheim 2020. This is getting more and more ridiculous. Lots of things happening. Today is gonna be my busiest day. I'm gonna play at Yamaha, Arturia, UVI, Studio Logic, audio modeling. It's gonna be awesome. Wow, 10 a.m. and we're already going hard with music. Jeez, that sounds nice. I was told that Saturday is the biggest day here at NAMM. Arturia. Good morning, Arturians. Great to have you here today. I am going to play a little bit with this monster because I love it. This I've had for quite a while. I have a lot of fun with it because of the way it's built and it's structured. It's at its core a 3 oscillator synthesizer that you can use in different modes, including paraphonic. I will get into that a little bit later. For now, I'm just gonna play a little bit and see if we can get some very interesting sounds out of it. One of my favorite things to do with the Matrix Brute is to do bass sounds, and I'm gonna start with that. So, very simply, oscillator number 1, we're gonna have it as a square wave, which is always a great place to begin if you want a really meaty, low-end, rich type of bass sound. So usually what I tend to do is I leave this as a very low note, like the bottom end of the bass, and then I pair another on top of it. So let's open VCO number 2, which means the second oscillator. And this time I like to go with a sawtooth. And here I've got the sub, which is cool as well. We may use it because usually this sort of sine wavy low end helps really a lot for bass sounds. So let's pair it with square wave from oscillator number 1. So now we have a combination of this plus this, which is already pretty fat. I don't want to be too loud because I don't want to scare the kids, but you know, you can tell by the amount of, you know, saturation, the amount of depth of the sound. So let's try and make it even bigger by adding a third oscillator. Let's just listen to the third oscillator by itself. That's pretty nice. So let's see if I have it at the right octave. Now we have like a three octave span for this one. Now this is an interesting territory. Yeah, that sounds good. I love it. Let's see if I can start shaping the sound in terms of the volume of it. So typically bass would need a little bit of attack, you know, some. We're gonna do that right now. So here's my VCA control, right? Also, let me remove the envelope on mount. I just want to have the pure sound for now. Something like that. Nice and open. So first thing, I'm gonna just try the decay, right? Can you hear this? Right? So it could be even shorter, but then we are kind of in a Kraftwerk situation. And on this occasion I want to go something a little bit with more sustain. I mean, this is perfectly fine if you want to go like, say, arpeggiator. This is the funkiest arpeggiation I've ever heard. Anywho, so I'm gonna choose something with a little bit more sustain. So I've got a little bit of that attack, but also then the sound like holds, right? So now I can do a similar process for the filter, because of course on the Matrix Brute we have extensive envelope controls. We have 1, 2 and 3 envelopes. So now I'm gonna use the envelope number 1 to control the filter, so that at the same time as, you know, having the sound going from here to here as a decay and then sustain like this, I'm going to repeat the same envelope except with a filter. So let me show you how that sounds. I'm gonna introduce a little bit of envelope amount. So now usually, in order to really dial it in, I want to hear how much the filter is closing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up the resonance, alright? So now when I pull the resonance, I'm really hearing what's happening with the top of it. So if I go a little bit slower, see? I may want to have like a wider range for this, so I'm gonna close the cutoff a little bit. So now I'm getting like a nice range. If I want to, so it goes go, go. But if I really want to go down, I have to put more envelope, because then the range will be wider. And as I pull it up, I open the filter. So to compensate for that, I have to go down with the cutoff. At this point though, because I'm pulling up the resonance, we have to remember that every time you pull up the resonance, you leave low end on the field. Check out. See? Now this is really fat. So in fact, this is a little bit of a struggle with all synthesizers, because, you know, if I want to have a little bit of resonance, if I want to go a little bit more like electronic-y kind of sounding, then I lose the low end, so I probably have to compensate using a different filter, which for example here I can do because I have two filters. This is the Steiner filter and this is the ladder filter. So I can choose any combination of them, and I can choose whether to have them in parallel or in series, which gives you a lot of flexibility. But back to our sound, I want to get something that is really nice and fat. Now, at this point, all I need to do is to play with the master cutoff, because the master cutoff will control all of the filters, you know, regardless of which one I've chosen. This is the master cutoff. So at this point, the game is here. Have I got enough sustain? I don't think so, because the filter only has a decay, so it goes from top to bottom and then it stops. So the sound, even though the volume is still there, the filter is completely closed. So at this point, sustain will mean how far down the filter goes and where it stops. And that's why it's called sustain, because it sustains the sound to that level. Hear it? It's hard to feel the beat because it's a bit, you know, I need a monitor. Can you give me a monitor, please? Anyway, there is one thing that I would say is a common ground for all music making people is that the listening action of things is more important than the playing action of things. I don't know if it makes sense, but like for example, as I'm talking to you, I'm paying attention to what's happening around me, and I try to make the sound of the whole thing make sense. And that's why I'm interplaying with those guys. Because, you know, if I was playing something else, that would clash. I don't know if it is of any interest, but I think that this is a very important thing, and that reflects either when you make sounds, either when you choose your instruments, or when you're playing. You know, I think that a mature musician should play what's missing, and that's what I try to do. Right now I can play better because I can feel those transients. Before I had no, you know, I can hear the 16 notes, I can hear that, you know, go, go. So now I am paying attention to that and I can be more precise. Side F sharp, minor. Anyway, those are thoughts that I have as I am making some sounds for you. All right, you know what? I am really keen on showing you the paraphonic mode. It's basically, okay, this is a monophonic synthesizer. It's got one voice, technically speaking. However, you still have 3 oscillators. You also have the noise oscillator, which is a 4th one, but we'll not count that for now. What happens in paraphonic mode is that now I can use the 3 oscillator for 3 different voices. Of course, if I have them with different settings, each voice is gonna sound different, which is the fun of it. So let's try and get a very simple sound, and we will play with the paraphonic capability of this synthesizer. I really like it, by the way. I'm gonna remove the envelope. So now the sound is completely open. I am just going to keep sustain. I am going to just select a sawtooth, which is my favorite waveform. I love it. See, with the resonance, if I use the resonance in a just flat situation where I'm not playing with the cutoff, basically in most synthesizers, but specifically on this one, you get that sort of top-end enhancement. Check out. Feel that? So, you know, you can even use it as a like sort of equalizer if you think about it. Right? So I'm going to select this top tuning for that. Then let's see what happens with oscillator number 2. Remove the sub. Cool. So same sound here. Same sound here. Let's see if we can get the same sound even on that one. Perfect. So now I've got 1, 2, and 3. They're exactly the same. Instead of going like this, mono, which as you can see won't do anything, I'm gonna go in paraphonic mode. Okay, you may think, okay, nothing too special here, right? Wrong! I can do much more. So, for example, how about if I take oscillator number, let's go back to monophonic for a second, and let's go to oscillator number 2, right? Oscillator number 2, now I'm gonna pull up 1 octave. Alright? So now, this is what I'm dealing with. But when I go in paraphonic mode, why does that happen? Because, of course, the voices are assigned as I am playing them. So if I first play this, I get the first oscillator, second oscillator, 1 octave up, third oscillator, 1 octave down. And when I play just freely, I introduce a level of randomness. So I'm not exactly sure which one is going to be the voice that is 1 octave higher. Even just by doing this, you obtain an interesting sound like this. if I go like sequential mode, like, and this is like super cool to me because it's really creative, and I can go even further and I can say, how about, and I'll go back to monophonic to have more control about what I'm doing. How about if the first oscillator, just listen to that one. How about if we go a fifth above? So now I've got. So now when I go in paraphonic mode, here's what I get. So if I was to do this on a recording, everyone would be thinking, how did he do it? Did he program all those different notes? He did some really heavy orchestration work on those synthesizers? No. I've just used a trick. And I can even play around as I'm playing. And I can go a million different ways, from very diatonic and pleasant sounding to complete avant-garde. Let's try a more interesting combination. So let's go by fours. C, F, B flat, correct? So let's try. So now I have, and then on oscillator number 2 I go, and oscillator number 3. That's pretty cool. And now in paraphonic mode. Okay, maybe I could play fifths against that. I mean, the limit is your fantasy, so you have no limits. How about if we try and make it sound more like a pad? Because I like pads. We don't have enough pads in this world. Let me try and get to a nice pad sound. So of course I need a little bit of soft attack for a pad sound. And also I need a little bit of release. And I'm gonna push here for 1 octave above. How about if we introduce a little bit of chorus to this equation? Less resonance. Try and use both filters at the same time. I'm in love. I love pads. They make me feel good. All right. Okay, let's leave it on a high note, and I'm going to build a funky lead sound. Let's see if I can manage to do that. So, monophonic. Remove the attack. Keep only the sustain. Probably let's remove the effects just for 1 second. We're gonna go back to them. And let's see what I can select here. Let's go with the first oscillator. Let's try something funky. I don't know. I could use the sub of oscillator number 1. Let's see. That's pretty cool. Can we hear that? Okay, this is very plain. Let's see. Let's add a second oscillator. Let's see what I can do to it. No, you are a little bit too loud for me right now. So how about if instead we select triangle? Oh. It's a little bit fluty, isn't it? Could be, but no. I am going to go for... Oh yeah, let's go for this square wave. Pulse width. I could actually use this for some modulation as I am playing. And let's see how it blends with my sine wave from oscillator number 1. Maybe I can just tune it down. I'm not sure about the blend. Let me try instead with a sawtooth. I like it better. Let's see some ultra saw effect on this. I like it like this. And maybe I could add the third oscillator doing... let's select again a sine wave. All right, I think it's cool. Oh yeah. So what's a lead sound without a little bit of delay? Let's select some of it. So we have mono delay here. Regeneration. How did that came out? I'm cracking down the system. But I mean, this is a testament to how powerful this Matrix Brute is, because To me, it comes down to the quality of the oscillators to begin with, because all you do with subtractive synthesis is to remove information from that oscillator. But if the oscillator doesn't sound good in the first place, you got nothing. And when these things happen, I mean, you can feel the pressure. NAMM 2020. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now it's time to go to the Yamaha booth. Yeah. I'm gonna play some really good synthesizers. And there he is. Look at him. How beautiful. Hi, Dr. Mixes. Domi's a good man. The Yamaha booth about to go live streaming. Yeah. Hello, 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 hello. It's your boy Dr. Mix today. Welcome to Anaheim 2020. This is the NAMM Show. I'm here at the Yamaha booth and I'm super excited about the YC61, which I hardly know at all, but I'm gonna make a point out of finding out about it right now with you guys online, streaming, watching this from all over the world. I love you all. I will try the first sound on this YC61. Let's go for it. Yeah. Well, you know, let me tell you something about the Yamaha pianos. Yamaha pianos will cut through your mix. That's what they do. Let me try a few different sounds here, yeah? Because right now I'm using it in dual mode, because I have on this side, on this side I've got a piano, on this side I've got a pad, and I can also control the filter on the pad, so I can get this very super sweet sound. How beautiful is that? And it never runs out of polyphony, does it? Dom, how much polyphony have we got on this baby? 128. Is that enough for you, baby? I think it's enough. Let's just go through some presets, because I really haven't tried this keyboard before. So, oh, wow. All right, let me try this. Yeah, this is good. All right, let me try something else here. Ooh. Ooh. Come on, let me try this. Let me try this. Let me tell you. Number one. Let's go with number one. Okay. This is good. Yeah, improvisation and madness with Dr. Mix here at Yamaha booth NAMM 2020. Baby, this is so exciting. Dom, what shall I try next? Oh, I like this. Can I put? This is good. This is good. Oh, you're gonna love this. I see. Avant-garde vibrations at Yamaha booth today. This is madness. Okay, let's try some more. More madness here. Oh. No. We do not go there. Not today. All right. Wow, this is cool. Ooh, complicated chords at NAMM 2020. Wrong chords at NAMM 2020. Incredible chords at Yamaha booth NAMM 2020. All right, what do I go ahead with? Pages here. Pages. This is beautiful. Oh. Okay, I got it. I know what to play next. want to try with a different sound. Okay. Okay. And now, this is why a Yamaha is a Yamaha. You hear this? That's what you get with a Yamaha. So, let me try octave down. Is that how it works? Octave. That's alright. Yeah. Octave. Okay, cool. Okay, that's it. I'm not gonna sing. If you know this one, it means that you are nearly as old as I am. I'm the black gold of the sun. I lied. I sung in the end. All right, how much time have we got left? How much time? Like maybe 2 minutes? All right, what can I do in 2 minutes? I am going to do, I know what I'm going to do. Good sound like this, anything that you play sounds like the intro to a good song. Like and it can go any other way, whatever you want, you know, like victory. Okay, what was that? I'm an 80s boy, yes. All right. Guys, I love you so much. This is the best NAMM show ever. 2020 Yamaha booth. You guys should go and check this out. The YC61 Dr. Mix.
So, hi. Hi. Hello. It's Saturday at NAMM, and we're starting to get punchy. So, this is Blake from Yamaha, and with me today is, well, Dom Segalis, as you've seen through the whole thing.
Hello.
And, you know, all I've ever known you as is Claudio. So, I'm just going to make sure I get it. Passavante.
Correct.
Si.
Yeah.
So, Claudio here from Dr. Mix. Actually, both these guys are Dr. Mix, if you want to know. If you watch any of the videos that these guys do, I mean, you guys are some of the best videos I ever see. Both of you. I mean, because I watch You know, well, I watch Dom's for a lot of the Cubase and music production stuff that he kind of does, and I always watch you for your keyboard stuff. I reposted the Hark the Herald Angels Sing that you did on the Modi X last year. I did it because it was beautiful.
Isn't it?
You know, and you're just a great player. Now, I remember when the Reface DX came out, you played... you didn't even say anything, and you just started playing Got a Match, the Chick Corea dude. Yeah. And then you laughed, and he goes, I haven't played this in so long, but this is the Reface DX, and let me tell you why this is so cool. And I always watch them, because they're just...
I've been accused of being an over-enthusiastic guy, but what can I do? I'm happy.
Yeah, they're so... That's why I watch, Doctor. So let's, first of all, you're a great player. I know that
Thank you.
So... you are from Italy originally, yes?
Yes.
Where'd you grow up in Italy?
So I was raised in Rome.
In Rome, okay.
Yep. And I started, playing the Bontempi organ. Very, one of those that you get at Christmas time.
Yep.
Right. So, and I was incessantly playing on it.
Yeah.
So I just never stopped. So I didn't do well in school because I was too busy playing music. I was literally obsessed by it. So that's all I ever did. And so I started studying classical piano when I was 9. And then also I was fixated with computers.
Yeah.
So that combination meant that at 13 I had my first session in a recording studio programming drums for my piano teacher. And the studio guys told me, you're coming back tomorrow. Yeah. And I haven't left yet.
All right. So did you go to school at all, though? Did you go
I went to a regular school, but I studied classical piano.
But as far as music school?
Yeah, I went to a music section. It was an experimental school, if you will, in Rome, and you would study the regular subjects in the morning, and in the afternoon you would study piano. And then, but also it was already hectic because I was studying in the morning, playing or studying piano in the afternoon, and then at night I would either go to clubs playing or in the recording studio. So by the time I was 18, I went full time in recording studio. So my background, as a pianist, is just to be efficient. And very early on, I was into jazz. But also my pop Italian career meant that I learned a lot about what matters in terms I started playing what was missing rather than playing what I wanted to play.
Right.
If that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. Absolutely. It sounds like Manuela's background too.
Exactly.
Very similar. Yes. Well, and some of we were talking like Enrico Peronunzi, who's one of my favorite jazz pianists in the world. He's an Italian. Manuela studied with him, but there's such a keyboard tradition in Italy, with organs and pianos and everything, and the Camelot guys are going to be here in a little bit. They're both keyboard players.
There they are.
They're right there.
There they are.
So
hello, Camelot.
Italy in the house. So you did that. So when did you start doing Dr. Mix? What year was that?
Well, so Dr. Mix, and we go a little bit back because basically what I wanted. We fast forward. In the meantime, I got a orchestral composing and arranging degree, and then I spent like 8 years of my life playing pop music. So by the time I went to London, I decided that I was going to be an artist, but at the same time I wanted to keep my clients, right?
Yeah.
I just gave it a different name. So I called it Dr. Mix because I was too busy, and I started asking for help. So I will never. Can I tell the story?
I will never also forget. I don't know if you're gonna say the same story, but I remember Claudio calling me. We had I was still living in Bristol back then.
Yeah.
And that meant I had to move to London. And basically he called me and said, "Okay, listen, what do you know about parallel compression, New York compression?" It's like, dude. Are you kidding me? Do you need an 1170? Do you have an 1176? And the stress was like, okay. And the second question was, that's what you wanted to say? Yeah. The second question was, okay, so Dom, how do you program drums? And I was like, oh man, shit, that's a tricky question. I said, yeah, you know what? I don't really program them. I play them on the keyboard. And he's like, okay, man, you're a brother. Come, let's meet.
Come on, you're hired. So the Dr. Mix online mixing and mastering and production service, which is which is where Dr. Mix comes from.
Right.
I started it in 2006.
Yeah.
And I started expanding in around 11, 12.
Yeah.
That's
12, 13, yeah.
So that's when Dom came aboard.
Okay. Yeah.
And since then, the Dr. Mix online mixing mastering studio and production studio became quite large, and now it's a 5 people. It's a 5 people company,
Yeah.
which for independents like us is like massively incredible.
Well, you guys
know?
have how many registered users, and I mean it must be ridiculous now.
The Dr. Mix, the channel.
And just views are off the charts.
We started it as the first thing we did is how to export. Right, so that our clients could have a video on, to know how to export the material for mixing and mastering.
Hi, this is Dr. Mix. If you want to export your tracks for Cubase, you go File.
It was literally that. We were very shy, and then at some point, we started making more videos, and Dom started growing, and then at the same time, he was working for me, but now he was also working for Steinberg and Yamaha, and he's always been this genius, mad genius. He really knows music, computers. He's a master at classical music. He masters computer technology. I hire very good.
That's all right. Okay, let's talk about somebody else now. But what about you?
But now let's speak about me. No, so the Dr. Mix channel was born in order to create some content, to get some visibility.
Right.
And before we knew, the Dr. Mix channel took a life of its own, and now we are at 350,000 subscribers. And that brings an amount of interest and business that I cannot begin to tell you.
No, it's one of my first go-to things when I'm looking to look at anything to see if you guys have done it. Because I want to see your take. Because for one thing, the videos are fun.
You are right then. We should always do videos on new keyboards, shouldn't we?
I know, right? No, but it's very funny because sometimes, even when I want to buy something, right? I'm thinking, what about this compressor or that EQ?
Yeah.
We had it in the studio for, because we have so much gear, but then we use some of them we just don't use it anymore. And then I go back and watch our own videos. I'm like, man, we did a bit. And I go back and watch what I was like, that's an encyclopedia of like analog gear, synthesizers. It's software. It's all like...
Well, it's also the usability stuff. How do you make a big fat kick drum sound using FM?
Yeah.
Or, what are you do ones where you talk about the greatest piano
if I want to look at it, if we look at it on the bigger scheme of things, we're musicians, and we understand that people identify with that, wanting to make music, and simply by sheer number of years that we've done it, and all the study and the effort that we put into it, we know how to make things work. So, we may not be millionaire producers, but we have a life as musicians. And this is thanks to this new possibility of the internet, where we can finally show what we know how to do and we know best. So there is a educational aspect of it, because I do want to share what I know, and I know you feel exactly the same way. And on the other hand, it's an occasion to just have some fun and make some good music.
Absolutely. I've had things where customers will come up to me and say, what are some good resources on the internet to check out, gear and stuff? And I always say Dr. Mix, and I give a few other ones and say, well, these are all kind of cool sites to go. Obviously, the manufacturer side, but I have gotten emails back when I've gone, man, out of all the ones you told me, the Dr. Mix one is the coolest one, because you do like 20-minute videos sometimes on, using remote control, DAW remote. I just reposted that one that you did. So things like that. So what are some stuff where you guys are because we got to wrap it up here, but what's the future looking like for you guys as far as...
You tell that
1 million subscribers?
Well, there you go, getting there. Subscribe to Dr. Mix.
Subscribe to Dr. Mix, the YouTube channel. And in the future, one thing is for sure: we are collaborating more closely with manufacturers and instrument makers, and that is a great chance for us to play indefinitely with nice instruments. But at the same time, I intend to grow the company and extend to, you know, making more videos,
Yeah.
making more content, and making more music.
Cool. Well, I've definitely, you know, one of the things I've always threatened, I'm coming to London.
What are you waiting for?
I'm coming. I gotta come and hang out with, because now I gotta hang out with Claudio too. But of course, my brother here, Dom.
Yeah, man.
So, but thank you very much for watching here from NAMM 2020 here with Dr. Mix, Claudio, and Dom. Stay tuned. There's more coming. Camelot's up next. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. I will love you and leave you. You look amazing. This was great. Amazing time at Yamaha. Off to the next one. What a glorious day. Look at that. Oh. Yeah. Look at those palm trees. Look at that water. Look at that NAMM Show. So good. This is the Tower of Power rehearsing.
A few minutes later.
There is one song that I like a lot. And it sounds a little bit silly, but I love to play it. This man is a very important man because not only he's possibly one of the most celebrated sound designer and sound make. Oh, you are, come on. But he's also the first library CD that I ever got, which was Liquid Groove.
Oh, nice. Yeah, great.
I still have it, and Burning Grooves and all of that.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I love you, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And you know what pleased me to see you last year on stage with Stevie Wonder? You had the
fun,
biggest.
huh? Oh,
if
yeah.
you didn't have ears, your head would split right
There you
open.
go. There you go.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
was intense. Now I'm going to try this thing. You know I don't have enough rings, right? So now there is this one. Oh. Are you kidding me?
It's a bit tight, yeah.
Are you proposing? Be careful, I may say yes. Right. Let's see, have we got some solo, like lead solo?
Want to see something else?
Yes, please.
So here you have now the pitch bell as well. So you have here a dead done in the middle,
Okay.
and by rolling your hand on the right. And you still have the vibrato as well.
And it's nuts how intuitive it is.
Yeah. Want to see something else?
Yes,
again?
please.
Okay, so now
Swam.
Okay, swam.
Oh, swan!
Yeah.
Amazing. You know what? Instinctively, I always do when I try to do vibrato, I do that. It's ridiculous. This is really good. I have no idea. There's some wizardry involved, some black magic. All right, see you later. All right. This is, I think, the perfect ending of day 3 at NAMM 2020. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? What's wrong with you? Do it now. Do it. Do it. Do it. Dr. Mix. Oh my God.